Welcome back to another Making Towns with Turnbuckle Trash Talk. I am your officiant, Kent. Tonight we are at Bar Wars Episode 2, Snoop Strikes Back. We're at the Vector Bar and Arcade in Clearwater, Florida. It seems like it's going to be a crazy night of action. If it's anything compared to Episode 1, we're in for a wild ride. But we're going to talk to some of the superstars before the show gets started here. Let's take a look at what they said. I'm here with the absolute best, Hunter Law. Hunter, this is your Bar Wars debut. Now, if Episode 1 was any indication at all, we are in for a wild ride tonight. How do you feel going into this match?
You know, I feel pretty good. I heard some crazy things about Bar Wars 1. I heard it was a great show. So they hit me up. They said, we want to make Bar Wars 2 even greater. So we got to have the absolute best a part of this show.
So you're facing the anti-luchador, Markos Espada. I know you guys kind of have a history of crossing paths before. How do you feel like Bar Wars is going to be different compared to that?
Well, I don't think there is going to be a difference because I beat him last time, so I'm going to beat him again. You know, there will be no difference. I'm going to off with his head.
Off with his head, indeed. So this is a different atmosphere. What sets Bar Wars apart from any other show you've ever done?
I mean, man, it's cool. Like just the super tall buildings around, the intimate atmosphere. There's no seats. Everyone's standing up. It's going to be crazy, man.
Well, good luck tonight in that ring. Thank you so much for joining me. Joining me at this time is Krinsky, the Klownzki. Bar Wars Episode 2 in Clearwater tonight. What are you looking forward to most in the show?
I'm looking forward to the unique atmosphere, the unique matches. None of these matches are standard matches. None of these matches have a set of rules. Anything can happen out there, and that's what I'm most excited about.
So now let me ask you, what was the motivation behind Krynski? What was it that brought out this, I would almost say, inner evil or darkness inside of you to create Krinsky as he is now?
Nothing was brought out. It's just the outside me was ripped away.
I like that. I like that. So were you at Episode 1?
I was.
And how do you think Episode 2 is going to compare to Episode 1?
Bigger, better, more cinematic. Episode 1 was an awesome display of unique matches, matchups, and things that you don't normally expect in your standard wrestling show. I just expect the bar, so to speak, to be raised even higher for Episode 2.
That sounds fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining me. We'll see how it goes tonight. Yes, joining me is the AquaBruh, Cyrus Satine. Now, Cyrus, we know each other pretty well from ACW, but this is Bar Wars. This is an entirely different environment. First off, tell me what appealed to you most about this show, about this setting, that drew you from ACW, from all the other promotions you've worked for, to Bar Wars?
It's outside. You know what I'm saying? Number one, like, no walls, AquaBruh, from the water. So being back in nature gives me home field advantage, number one. And number two, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole nother niche. It's a whole nother environment. The wrestling you'll see here tonight is not going to be the wrestling you would see on a Wednesday night. So,
yeah, it seems like this is something very unique, very special, very unlike anything we've ever seen. How do you think Episode 2 is going to compare to Episode 1? I mean, Episode 1 went viral and is a huge sensation and has people talking about it. Now we're in the second chapter, and some people might say the second chapter isn't always better than the first. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I know a lot of people that actually always like the sequel, you know what I'm saying, better than the first one, I think like Godfather, stuff like that, but I don't know. Snoop jumped off the roof last time, so I expect him to jump out of a helicopter or something. And then, Silvio always shows up ready to party. And then tonight's the AquaBruh debut, so I got a couple tricks up my sleeve as well. But you have to see those things.
So can we expect you to pull out all the stops tonight? I mean, this is a pretty big stage, it seems to be turning into. Yeah. What can we expect from you?
For sure. You can definitely, you know how I go. I always give it 110%. So tonight I definitely will be pulling out everything that I have to do to make sure that I'm part of Episode 3 as well.
Well, Cyrus, thank you so much for joining me.
No problem.
Good luck out there.
Thank you, bro.
Joining me at this time is Hold My Beer, Hanson. Hanson, you're making your debut for Bar Wars tonight. How do you feel going into that?
I tell you, I feel electric right now. I tell you, I'm here at SIW. I'm here to try to prove my name, that Hold My Beer Hanson belongs here. I am here to prove to the people in the back that once I hit that raucous red glare, it's going to be that 1, 2, 3, son.
Now, episode 1 had a lot of acclaim, a lot of recognition, and it even went viral in some cases. People are saying they're going to try to make episode 2 top episode 1. How are you going to contribute to those efforts?
I'm going to try to come in here. What are you doing?
You guys got some change, Papa?
Man,
You guys some change?
I don't have any.
Who,
You guys some change?
who are you?
Hey, I'm El Waldo, Papa. How you doing?
What are you doing?
You got change.
No, I ain't got no change, son.
Are you kidding me? Really?
No, I ain't got
You
nothing.
no change. We've been out and back over at the valley, and you telling me you didn't get no change?
I only carry plastic, sir.
I'll see you in the ring, Papa.
So it looks like we may have just met your opponent for tonight. What do you think about all that?
You know what? The outcome's still going to be the same, son. Hold My Beer Hanson is going to come out on top.
Well, there's a lot of mystery surrounding that particular individual. Do you think they could bring an unexpected element to this match?
I mean, it was unexpected how he came up on me. I mean, he's trying to mess with the wrong guy. But I guarantee you this. What do you want?
Smells like AquaBruh. That means you're rich. You got change?
No.
Get out of here.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Just want change. Don't be rude to me, okay? Because I will kick your ass.
You can try, son, but I guarantee you this. You ain't going to happen whenever the
I will
All-American
kick your
ass
ass. I'm
kicking
going to spell it
machine.
for you, okay? SSA. Ass. I'm kicking it tonight.
I'm here with senior referee Lee Canfield. Lee, we're here, Bar Wars episode 2. You've been here since day 1. What was it about Bar Wars that called to you and made you want to be a part of it?
You know, Kent, this whole Bar Wars is something different. It's not the same cookie cutter show that everyone seems to be putting on. Plus, we're here in Clearwater. Nobody runs Pinellas County. It's untapped potential. Here in Clearwater, it's going to be something for everybody. This show, you got video games in the Vector Bar, you got wrestling, you got 50 different types of beer inside this place. It's a great atmosphere. Everyone who came to the first show loved it. I'm talking like legit, maybe only like 30% of them were actually wrestling fans. Everybody else was walk up. Everybody left here happy. Line out the door to get pictures in the ring. It's just a cool vibe, man. That's the thing about Bar Wars.
Well, and the first show went viral almost immediately. We saw Snoop Strikes leap off the roof for a splash in the ring. It just seems to have this extra quality. Could you even put a definition on what that kind of quality is that sets it apart?
You know, I don't think you can, but I think it's that special stuff like that is what sets it apart. We had people lightsaber dueling in the ring. Like I said, we had Snoop flying off the top of the building. The crowd loved it, you know, and I think what makes this real is there are no barriers, there's no barricades. The crowd is right up on the ring. The crowd sees the action right in their face. They're involved. They are part of the show themselves. I think that's what sets it apart. You know, it's not, like I said earlier, it's not the cookie cutter wrestling show. It's not this guy, we're going to go and we're going to fight. These guys are here. They're entertaining the crowd. And the people here loved it, and they were very appreciative, and I think that's another thing that set it apart. They appreciated the show they saw. They showed their appreciation, and they're going to be back tonight. I mean, this place is going to be packed again.
Well, in episode 1 really set a high bar. How do you think episode 2 is even possibly going to measure up to that?
I believe 3 letters, Kent, TLC. That's how we're going to do it. That's the main events of TLC match tonight. I think that's going to do it. That's going to leave these people wanting more. Episode 3 is where we're going to have to see what happens.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, Lee. Have a great show tonight.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Joining me at this time is the Blue Thunderbolt, Cobalt. Now, Cobalt, you're not necessarily on the show tonight, but you bared witness to the first episode. Now it's the second episode. What were your thoughts originally coming out of episode 1?
See, my thoughts out of episode 1, I came here to help set up, help something great, and that is exactly what Bar Wars is. It is something great, something in progress that's going to change all of wrestling.
Now, episode 2, it's the sequel, and sometimes the sequel can be better than the original, sometimes not. How do you think tonight's going to compare to episode 1?
It's going to be a full-blown trilogy. Sequel's going to go make millions. It's going to make millions of hits. It's going to go viral just like the first, and then the third is going to go even more viral. We're going to keep going. Bar Wars is going to live forever.
Now, you've been here as a helper, obviously, as a spectator. Do you have hopes of one day joining the Bar Wars roster and being a part of the show?
You know, due to current injuries, it's in the scope, but right now I just want to help any way I can. I'll set up the ring, I'll break down the ring, I'll sweep the ring, I'll sell tickets, I'll sell hot dogs. I'm just here to make Bar Wars successful.
Well, Cobalt, thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully we will see you in that ring for episode 3. Joining me right now is Fabu Andre. Fabu, you've been here since day 1. Now it's episode 2 of Bar Wars. Having seen the success and the widespread acclaim of episode 1, how do you think episode 2 is going to compare?
Well, first of all, you're welcome. But episode 2 is going to be so amazing. It has my beautiful face on the poster. What's better than that, in all honesty?
Well, I suppose that's true, and we saw you do some pretty incredible things in episode 1. Are we going to see you even top that?
I always top myself. I got to break out of every cocoon that I put myself in. There's never a level for the butterfly.
And what motivations do you have going up against your opponent, AquaBruh, Cyrus Satine? Now, you guys have crossed paths at ACW multiple times, but now it's a whole different stage, whole different venue, whole different arena. What are your motivations going into it?
Butterflies don't do well in water.
That was Bar Wars Episode 2, live here in Clearwater. It was an absolutely insane show, as you saw from just the highlights. You've got to get out to the next Bar Wars show. I'm sure there's going to be an Episode 3 based off of the response tonight. We're looking forward to it. Hope you're looking forward to it, too. Thank you guys so much for joining us for another Making Towns with Turnbuckle Trash Talk. We'll see you guys next time.